Full There Was is an American film that was released in 1915. This is based off of a play that was written by Porter Emerson Brown. Now, this stars Theda Bara. Um, this is actually her second film, and many want to make it her first film. No, this is her second film. However, this is the film that created her femme fatale persona. And because of the fact that this is where the femme fatale persona or idea was created. Uh, the word vamp also was pretty much popularized with this particular movie. Um, a vamp, of course, being short for vampire. This film, as well as the play, but more so the film, created a lot of controversy. Not just because of the idea of the femme fatale. Uh, it had to do with a particular title card that said, "Kiss me, you fool." Yeah, of all things, it had to be "Kiss me, you fool." Um, Now, this movie is actually centered, and the play as well, is centered around the poem by Rudyard Kipling, The Vampire. And what's funny about it, or more interesting than anything else, is that during the film's showings, the producers had an actor come out, a lot like with vaudeville, where somebody would come out and stand on the stage. He would come out and read the full poem. Now, in the movie itself, there would be the poem go through the so I'm not sure why they did that. Would be- Yeah, you would see Rudyard Kipling. I mean, this thing was basically everything having to do with it was like Rudyard Kipling grabbed hold of this. And I'm a fan of Rudyard Kipling, so it didn't bother me a bit. But I can see where some people would be like, okay, enough. I really can. So yeah, I found that interesting that they would have a live actor come out and read the poem and everything, especially seeing that the poem was going through as well. Now, the story itself follows John Schuler, and he is a Wall Street lawyer. He's very successful, and he also has a family. And he goes to England on a mission and but without his family. So he's by himself, and on the ship he meets this vampire woman who is a psychic. And of course, that's Theda Bara's character. And she seduces him. But she has this reputation of seducing men. And after ruining their lives, this is what's known about her after ruining their lives. So the love them and leave them type, basically. So we've seen this type of storyline in a lot of movies, but this is an early version of it. And that's basically what the poem is that Rudyard Kipling talks about is that there are women out there that are love 'em and leave 'em types. And but here we see it on the big screen is that here is a woman who is seducing you, taking you away from your family, and you're just not seeing it for what it is. So yeah, it follows this guy who sees this, and this is where the femme fatale came in. And that's what struck up the controversy and the vamp character. And they were through time they've been morphed together, of course. But and it was a very successful play on Broadway. Now it was also shot on location, not just in the UK, but also in Florida, is what I saw. St. Augustine. and New York Harbor as well, and in New Jersey. So you see those exotic looking places and everything for this. Now, as for the release of this, it Theda Bara, they they didn't like her. They really, this was like a first publicity stunt that ever happened. It's considered one of the first. At a press conference, January 1915, the studio gave this fictional biography of Theda Bara, making her an exotic Arabian actress, and presented her in a flamboyant fur outfit. Then they made an intentional leak to the press that the whole thing was a hoax. That was considered the first publicity stunt. And that didn't help this movie. Part of the film takes place in the United Kingdom. The film was not approved by the film censors for its policy of rejecting films with illicit sexual relationships. Although A Fool There Was never received a public showing in Great Britain, later Theda Bara's films were allowed. Um, so yeah, this is one of those Theda Bara films because a lot of her films are gone. This is one that survived. So, and the other thing that I found interesting is that Tex Avery, known animator, he released a cartoon called A Feud There Was. I'll look for it and put it in the description box. But anyway, this is A Fool There Was. It's an American film. It was released in 1915.